Amazing. Good afternoon and welcome, guys. Welcome to your DCX Ambassador Call. For those of you that don't know me, my name is, of course, Lisa, or Lisa Learns Forex, as known here at the Wealthier World. I'm blessed and honored to be a leader here at the Wealthier World, and I've been a part of the family for just over a year and a half now. And I've really come to love the DCX and the crypto side of trading and managing a portfolio. So we're going to go over a few bits and bobs today on how you can get the most out of your DCX package and what's going on currently in the market right now. So I know you guys jump onto my sessions regular, so you guys know where we're at, but you know, things are changing and developing each and every day, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go straight into the swipe coin scalper. Now, if there's any guests on the call as well, I want to welcome you guys onto the call. Today, you're going to get a sneak peek of what we have access to here at the Wealthier World, right? And I'll give you some information as we go along as well. So make sure that you grab a notebook and a pen, because the note takers are the money makers, right? So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and share my screen. And the first thing you can see here is the Bitcoin US dollar, right? So this is showing us trade ideas for Bitcoin versus the US dollar. Okay, so currently you can see there is a sell in progress for the Bitcoin versus the US dollar. If I bring this, make this a bit bigger. So let's take this all the way back here just for a second, right? So you can see when you first log into the swipe coin scalper, for those of you that are brand new to DCX, you'll get the 3 steps come up, right? So step number 1, you're going to want to change this to line chart. Step number 2, you're going to be waiting to spot your break and close of structure, which is your support or your resistance or your floor and your ceiling, right? And then step number 3 is where is that 50 EMA, right? So where is that yellow line? Is it above price or is it below price? All right. So this 50 EMA, guys, is simply showing us the average, right? The average of the last 50. Okay. So what we can see here is when the price is above the 50 EMA, it is trending above average price. So we're looking for buys when price is above the 50 EMA. But when price is below the 50 EMA, which you can see that it's been now for quite a while, right? It's been below the 50 EMA, then we are looking for sells. We are still in that downtrending market, right? So you can see if I bring this, zoom this out a little bit, you guys can see the sell all the way from up here at 38K, and we called this sell as well, right? And then it called the buy and we had a little push up. And then again, we just couldn't break that resistance here at 37,000. And then we failed again and we started to push back further down. Okay, but all you're looking for when you're looking at the swipe coin scalper is the last call. So you can see 8 hours ago, so at 9:15 this morning, this app called a sell. So it told us to sell Bitcoin versus the US dollar. Now you would do this on your MT4, right? So what we're looking at here is your short-term trading, your day trading, right? We'll touch on the long-term trading at the end as well. But right here, we're looking at the day trading. So rule number 1, what we want to do is we want to change this to a line chart, okay? So if we come to here where the candles are, we can switch this out to line. Now we're on our line chart. So now we can clearly see where price broke, right? Where it broke our... Now, what is this, guys? If we're looking for a sell, do we want it to break our support or do we want it to break our resistance? Let me know in the chat. If we're looking for a sell, do we need it to break our support or do we need it to break our resistance if we're looking for a sell, guys? Grab some water while you guys are talking to me in the chat. Let's get the chat box up. Amazing. Yes, we want it to break our support. Perfect. So for a sell, we want it to break our support right here, okay? Which we can see it did here. but it didn't respect our support. So what we want to happen is once it's broken the support, we want the support to then turn into resistance, right? So you can see the first time, if you look, the first time that didn't happen, it broke the support and then it came right back up, right? And then if it would have made this a support again, then that sell would not have been valid, right? What we needed it to do was break the support, which you can see it redid again here. And then right here, let me get the brush. Right here, you can see it turned the support into resistance, right? Right here. Turn the support into resistance. So at this point, we know, all right, cool, this is pushing down. And then again, it pushed down a bit further, came up. This is still being a resistance, right? It still can't get back above this support line. So then it's still pushing down, okay? So we can see the sell is still valid. Now, what we can do here, guys, what we can do here is we can take multiple positions, right? Now, what I mean by this is I don't mean go and just put on 5 trades of all Bitcoin sell, Bitcoin sell, Bitcoin sell. What I want you guys to understand is you're going to split your risk, okay? You're going to split your risk into 3 trades, okay? So if you usually trade on a 0.03 lot size, right, you will do 3 0.01s. Okay, so if you usually do 1 0.03, you'll do 3 0.01s. And then what you'll do, guys, is you can take these to different target areas. Okay, now you might say, how do we work out our targets? Now it's very simple. You can either use the ruler or you can use this right here, the long position or the short position. Now this will help you work out your pips, okay? Now, Bitcoin, guys, Bitcoin is very easy to work out the pips because the pips are counted in whole numbers, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys an example. So let's do, where are we at right now? So let's do 30, oh, let's do 34, 100 to 34 to 34 50. How many pips is that, guys? So 34 100 to 34,050, how many pips is that? How many pips is that? Perfect, 50 pips. All right, cool, amazing. So that's a 50 pip. Why are you not letting me type? There we go, 50 pips move, right? So let's have a look at another one. So let's do, where was the entry for this? 30, wow. So let's do 34 700. Oh no, let's do it from where it is right now. So 34 280. Now let's say we want to take this. We want to take this for 250 pips, right? So we want to take it to our take profit of 250 pips move. Now, what is that? What price will we then look to make our take profit? If we're taking this for 250 pips from 34 to 80, where would we be looking to take this? Let me get some more people in. Find the chat box. We're taking it down. We're taking it down. So we're selling, right? Because we're looking at a sell, right? So yep, I can see you guys have put it in there. 34,030. Perfect. So everybody understands how to count the pips. So 34,030 would then be our take profit 1, right? We would take it down for 250 pips. Okay. And then let's go again. So remember, we're putting 3 trades on. So then the second one, 34,280 minus, right? Because we're going down, so we're selling. The second one we'll go for 500 pips. So where's our take profit going to be on that one, guys? Remember, same entry point. So 34,280 down 500 pips. Where are we going? Where are we going this time? Perfect, Dion. 33,780. Amazing. So 33,780. That would be our take profit 2, right? And then our third and final position. Now I'm just giving you guys examples, right, of how far you guys can take this, because Bitcoin has been moving some crazy moves. Now I would always take smaller sells than I would buys, right? Because obviously we know when it buys for a lot longer than when it sells, okay? So always have your stop losses in place. But let's go for our third one. Let's do 750. So 750 pips. So our third take profit would be what, guys? Um, 33,530. Perfect. Oh, I'm typing it back in the chat box to you guys. No, I need to type it on the screen. 33,530. Take profit 3. Okay. So now let's work out our stop loss. So if we, again, same entry, 34,280. Now, what we do is, at least you want to take your trades for a minimum of a 1-to-1, right? Which means that your stop loss should be no more than the 250 pips that you're going to take for take profit 1. Okay. So if you're doing a buy, for example, and your first take profit is 400 pips for a buy, then your stop loss could be that 400 pips, right? Because your risk to reward is still a 1-to-1. But you wouldn't want your stop loss to be 500 pips and your take profit 1 is only 400 pips, because you're now getting into a negative risk to reward. Does that make sense? Drop me some 7s if that makes sense. Amazing. We don't want any negative risk to rewards. So 34,280. So we know the maximum that we want to risk is 250 pips on this example, right? Because we want it to be a 1-to-1. So what is our stop loss going to be? So this time we're going to have to do what? We're going to have to add 250 pips, right? Because we're selling, so the stop loss needs to be above. So my stop loss is going to be, thank you. You guys are like my calculator. I love it. I don't even have to do any calculations. My stop loss is going to be 34,530, right? 34,530 will be my SL. Okay. So let's delete this one because this is just, actually, no, we'll leave that because it's a nice example for people that don't understand that it's just counted in the whole number, right? So this just shows you an example. So let's put example. Now this is going to be our sell example. Let's make this. Now, you can see, so we've got here, so if our entry was 34,280, which is actually pulled up now, so it wouldn't be that low down. But if it was 34,280, then we would do plus 250 for our stop loss, right? So then what we could do now, guys, is we could now use this long and short position. So you don't actually need any of these tools to work out your take profit and your stop loss, because Bitcoin is counted in the whole number. And as you've all just demonstrated, we can all count those, you know, 50, 100, 250 pips, right? So you guys can work out what is your stop loss and what is your take profit. So now let's put on a short position. So we're going to put on a short position. We're going to put it for here. Let me let some more people in. So now let's make this 250 pips. And then we're going to make our take profit the same, 250 pips, right? So our first trade, let's put the entry of what we said it was going to be, so we can actually look at the real example. So 34, what did we say? 280, right? So 34,280, that would be our first trade, right? 250 pips. Now our second trade, no, that's not what I want to do. Our second trade, put it next to it. So 34,280. And now this one, stop loss, what is our stop loss going to be? Tell me what our stop loss is going to be. How many pips is our stop loss going to be? Someone type it in. Does anyone know? How many pips is our stop loss going to be on our second trade? Nope, Michael, it's not going to be 500. Yep, it was a trick question. It's going to be 250. We do not change the stop loss, right? You're going to, because you're doing the same risk, okay? The same risk. So it's still going to be 250. But this time, instead of 250 take profit, you're going to go for 500, right? And then your final one, again, we're going to go 34,280. Remember, same entry price, we're getting in. Same stop loss, 250, because then if it goes the wrong way, we only lose that 250 pips, right? And remember, we've split our risk, so we're not losing anymore. We're not going to lose 3 times over because we've split our risk. But what we've got is a higher reward now, because we can go to take profit 1, we can go to take profit 2, and we can go to take profit 3, right? So then our final one is going to be 750. Oh. Our final one is going to be 750. Now, can you guys see now that we've got 3 different trades, okay? But they're all going from the same entry point with the same stop loss. However, our first one, once it hits our take profit 1, we've now got 2 more opportunities for the trade to carry on running, okay? So this works really well as well for people that are using, you know, a 0.01, because it means that you can secure partials along the way, right? You can secure take profit 1, secure take profit 2, secure take profit 3, but you don't risk any more because your stop loss are the same. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna screenshot this just for when we're doing future trainings. Actually, and I can save it on here, can't I? So DCX pip count, right? So you can also save stuff on your chart layouts as well, right? So if you've ever done, so look, what have I got on here? For example, if I go to load chart layout, I think this was one of my trades. Is it still here? Where's my trade gone? Oh, I don't know where my marking up went, but this is one of my biggest. I did a 1 to 13 on the scalper, so I risked 1 to gain 13, right? So for example, the one that we just did with the 250 pips, that's a 1 to 1, right? I'm risking 250 pips to make 250 pips. That is a 1 to 1 risk to reward. So now if I go back to the one we just did, you can see the next one is a 1 to 2 because I'm still risking 1 to make 2, and the next one is a 1 to 3, right? So you can imagine on that one I did a 1 to 13, okay? So I had high reward for very small risk, okay? And that's what you want to do. Yeah, so if you're trading 0.01, your free trades would be on 0.01, yes. And a maximum of 3 trades, right? So just like gold, as this is very volatile, you don't want to lose more than 3 of that same trade. Because if you're losing 1, you're going to lose all of them, right? But if it's before it hits that take profit 1. Because what happens is once it hits take profit 1, you can then move your stop loss to your entry point. And now trade 2 and trade 3 are both risk-free. If they lose, you don't lose anything. They just come to break even, okay? So now let's hop over to the smooth because I want to show you guys the new markup that Picasso just put out about 20 minutes ago. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. So he is looking at the Wyckoff, the accumulation, right? So you guys can see, let me move this a little bit. This is what we can see happening in the market, right? Now, what we first wanted is we wanted a spring off of this ST right here, right? This was one of our supports, the ST, but we didn't get that. It's now pushed down under it, right? So what we're seeing is it's a possible fail, right? So we're looking for a failed swing low near to 30 to 31 to create a spring entry on confirmation of test, okay? So the test is down here. So what we want to happen for this model to play out now is for it to come back down to these swing lows, okay? But for it to potentially make a higher low, okay? So we can see the low here. If we can make a higher low over here, we can get a confirmation that we're going to start going back up. Because all the time we kept getting to this resistance, it kept pushing off of the resistance. Look, 1, 2, 3, right? The next one, we could push through this resistance now and go up. But we need to gain enough momentum from down here. We need to get enough buyers into the market down here for us to push up into this space right here. Okay, so if we have a look on the swipe coin, if you go into Picasso's brain, you can actually see where he has marked this out on the chart as well, right? So what you can do is you guys can actually have, well, you don't need to draw it up now because Picasso's drawn it up for you on the swipe coin scalper. But before he did that, what I did is I drew this up on my trading view. So you can see here, I literally just took the numbers, drew it up onto the trading view. And now this green line, right, was our possible entry. Okay. The green line was our possible entry, and it held there last night. And we thought we were going to get this bounce off of the green line, which we didn't do, right? It failed to hold this as a support. But now, what can you see here? If we're looking at the candles, what can you see right here with this candle here? What is this potentially? What's going on with this candle? Yep, it's support. Yep, it's bounce. So it's showing signs of rejection, right? We're showing signs of rejection off of this support area, which means, guys, that we could see a pushback up. But if not, then it's going to fail down. Oh, let's take it to here. To the swing low of near 30.31 to create a spring up, right? So what you can see, stop drawing. Right, so between 30 and 31 is down here. So let's drop a line at 31. Can you see you've got the same exact thing here? This is what we're looking for, a bounce, right? We're looking for it to make a higher low. So low, high, higher low, somewhere in this area, to then bounce up again, right? So any sells that we take, we want to make sure that we've got our stop losses on, and any buys that we try and take, we want to make sure that we've got our stop losses on, right? Because we know that this has still got room to push down further to 30 to 31 before we get that spring up. Now, if I quickly throw a fib on this, let's quickly do low to high. And we're going to box in between 50 and 618. Now you can see that this was a potential place for the buyers in this area, right? And this is why our green line was here as well. But now it's come under this, right? So now we need to see what price does here. Because if it rejects off of this area, we're going to push down further into these spaces here. Okay. So that's how you can use fibs as well for confirmation. So right now I'm not looking for the buy, even though this is showing me signs of rejection, because I need it to get back into this area right here. If we drop this down to the 15, look, at a minimum, we need to get back on top of this green line, and then that would put us on top of the 50 EMA. And when we're on top of the 50 EMA, we know that is a shift in momentum, right? So right now, this is not looking for a buy. We are looking for the sell, because we can see that it's still got space to push down, right? This is still another, what's this? Like still about another 2,000 pips, right? For this to go. But what it is we don't know how far this is going to push down, because it's going to make a lower high. Okay, so it may not come all the way down to, you know, 31,000, but it may very well spring into this support and then push up. So we're really just waiting for Bitcoin here to unfold itself, to show us its hand and let us know where it's going, right? Because we know with the cloud, if we're looking at the red, right? If we're looking at the red cloud, we know that what the buyers are in control. We saw a very, very slight twist here of the green. We got a push up and then boom. It just failed straight into the red cloud again. All right. So what I want you guys to do is just keep an eye on this smooth and on the original, because the original will show you when that shift of momentum happens, because it will call a buy once we get above this 50 EMA, right? Because you can see right here, we are getting some buy-in action happening right now. In the last 30 minutes, we've had 2 bullish candles, right? So if we can get above back up here, we may see it trying to put in a lower low right here, or it might just be pulling up to this and then fail again. Like you can see it's done many times. Look, we saw bullish candles up to the EMA. It hung around the EMA, failed down again. Okay. So all we're doing right here, guys, is being patient. We're just waiting for Bitcoin to show itself to us, to let us know what our next move should be, right? So if you want to learn more about how to take the trades from here, how to use these things here, you're going to go into your Go Live, right? And you're going to look for Sean in your DCX section. And he's on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, okay? So if you look in his section, in his channel, if I go to his favorite sessions, you'll see you've got how to mark up a chart right here and the swipe coin mastery, okay? And this will go through all of the different things that I've shown on this call as well, right? So, and also this video here is very good, trapping Bitcoin with zones, right? So you can trap it to see which direction it's going to push off in. So either way, you still get a trade out of it, because every single day, this swipe coin pushes out a trade idea, right? So even this trade right here, if you caught it from, you know, the break, oh, you would have got all 3 trades from that if you caught it from the break, right? We went 800 pips down. So you would have got your 250 pips, your 500 pips, and your 750 pips. So all 3 of your trades you would have caught on there. All right. And that's just from this small move that we're looking at. Now, sometimes Bitcoin runs thousands of pips down. So from this trade here, I think we caught it from about here, from until the move was done. You know, it's about 3,000 pips. So as you become more advanced, what you can do is you can still have your 3 trades, but on your 3rd trade, you can just have a stop loss, right? And then leave your take profit open and just let it keep running and running and running until, you know, you're happy with your profits, or you see it start to pull back up, and then you can take your profits at that point, right? So that's just different ways that you can play it. If you feel like every time you take it, you're getting 250, 500 pips, 750 pips out of it. But if you left that 3rd one running, that's a big 3,000 pips that you could have caught. But it's, can you be patient enough to hang out in the trade? That's the issue that a lot of people face. So this is why the scalper is such a good place for you to grab your 250 pips, your 500 pips. Because if you think about it, guys, you guys can literally use this with your trading plan, work out whatever your lot size is and say, right, I need to catch 500 pips on Bitcoin a day to hit my compound plan. And now as these trades come out, you're like, right, cool, the sell's here. I can take this sell for 500 pips. That's my compound plan done. Right? So it's an easy way for you guys to manage your trading account as well. No worries. Gifty, I don't know. Yeah, it's possible to put a stop loss in without a take profit. So in your MT4, you just put the stop loss, but you don't put the take profit. But that means it will never close. You will have to manually close the trade if you do that. So if you're not going to be looking at your phone, you're going to work, you're going to sleep, it's always best to put a take profit in. But if you're somewhere, you know, where you're kind of keeping an eye on your phone anyway, you can have an open take profit just on one of the trades, right? Just so you can maximize your profits in that trade. Can you talk? Sure thing. Let me... Where are you? Let me try and find you. Can you raise your hand so I can see you've got your camera on? Let me see if I can find you in the participants. Yeah, exactly, Robin. Put it ahead in case it runs, and then you can just take it. Gifty, 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 gifty.
Yeah.
Hey, Gifty.
Yeah, hello Lisa, thank you. So with that, do I have to go to modify to do that?
Yes, you just go, what?
I tried doing it one time. I just put a stop loss, but so I have to delete the take profit from there and just modify it.
Yeah, so you would have to enter your stop loss and your take profit, right? But you don't have to enter both. You can enter just the stop loss with no take profit on one of the trades, but like I said, it will then not manually close your trade. So you will have to manually close your trade yourself.
Oh, okay.
It will never close on its own if you do not have a take profit.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
No worries. All right, cool. Any other questions about that, guys? Before we move on, and just make sure that you guys are checking out Picasso's brain, right? For sure, because he's putting a lot of analysis in here, and also on the chats, right? On the leverage ideas chat. So if you go into any of these, you will see you have the chats there as well, right? And then the same for the exchanges. So exchange chat, diamond hands, right? This is where Curtis Cobain updates his crypto portfolio stuff. And then you'll see when the dust settles, look for a new trend, right? So look, just released 2 new trade ideas. This is looking at Bitcoin here. And also the new coin list will be coming out next week, okay? So he announced at the IM3 convention that the new coin list will be coming out next week. So we'll take a look at that together as well and look at the different coins, right? After our call last week, drop me some M's into the chat if you purchased some Matic, some Polygon. If you purchased some Matic for your wallet, drop me some M's into the chat. Victor said Lisa for president. I love you, Victor. Amazing. I can see some M's in there. Perfect. And then the same thing with ETH, guys. Like, we've had some amazing entries for our wallet for ETH over the last couple of weeks. You can see right here that we're still at good prices. Obviously, we had these lows that got put in right here, but we've had amazing buying opportunities for Ethereum, right? So Cobain was saying to us, you know, anything below 2,500 for ETH, we're still getting in at a good price. Now that's $2,500, right? Not pounds. So that works out at about 1.8, a 1.8 ETH coin. So if you got in lower than that, you're absolutely sitting pretty with Ethereum. But we've had some really great buying opportunities for Ethereum as well, right? So remember, guys, we're all aiming to get our 5 Ethereum by the end of the year, right? So keep your eyes on ETH. I mean, we're still at, you know, good price points, even now, for that long-term, those long-term ETH buys as well, right? So please make sure you're taking these opportunities. You don't want to be here in, you know, a couple of years when Ethereum goes on its next cycle and be thinking, oh my God, I could have bought in under 1,500 and I didn't take the opportunity, right? So even if you're just putting in £20, £50, £100, whatever you've got, right, it's going to make a lot more of a difference than you know, trying to buy when it reaches 3,000, 4,000 again, which it has been making runs for. Right, same thing with Ethereum. So we got back up to just shy of $3,000, so 2,916. So we nearly broke back above that 3K mark. So the buyers are stepping in, guys. So please just take these opportunities to be topping up your crypto wallets. Why these prices are low, right? Your future self will absolutely thank you for it, I promise you. So with that being said, guys, we are going to end off this session. I'm gonna stop this recording and I will put this recording out. Peace.